Thank you. I didn't know I was first. Thank you very much.
Ladies.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's so great to be here. You know, you all hopefully know me. If you don't, you know, I'm just one of you who've been working in the trenches behind the scenes for so many years, just like you all have. Got into this because I'm just as worried about the country as you are, worried about the direction that we're going. So got very involved, and, you know, you start seeing things that are going on in our state that are along the same lines as our country, and it's worrisome. I was fortunate enough to be on a Tea Party Caucus Advisory Committee with Joanne Fleming in the lead, and I'm going to tell you what, I have learned most everything I know from Joanne. And I appreciate her so much. I used her line, stole it, used it many times on the campaign trail because I believe in it. And that is that it's time to get Texas back into its constitutional size box. And so the best line Joanne uses, and I use it all the time too, I just steal it.
It's not copyright.
Okay, good. You know, I got into this just like you all, like I said, not ever run for office. It was never even on my radar. But, you know, the fact of the matter is we had Wendy Davis that was representing Tarrant County. And it was embarrassing to those of us that believe in conservative principles. And we knew that she did not stand for the... she campaigned very differently in the district than she was down in Austin, and many people did not know that. And, of course, the filibuster brought that to light. And, you know, it was fortunate for us. We kind of jumped on top of that and showed everybody where she really stood on the issues. Where we were very glad that she did that. Although the national media and those in the Northeast thought it was great, we all know where we stand on life in Texas. It is one of our first rights, and it should be defended. And I will defend it in the Senate for District 10. I just wanted to say, too, quickly that you mentioned about we brought Don on, but I'll tell you what. Don was Liberty cool before it was cool. I'll tell you, he's been behind the scenes in the party. You know, very Liberty oriented. So it's not like he's new to Liberty issues. That's for sure. He is going to be a great advocate of ours in the Senate. So anyway, you know, listen, we are going to lead the way in the Senate. I believe it, but I'm here to tell you. You know, I know that you all know how I feel on many issues, but I will tell you that we are going to get conservative legislation passed in the State House regardless, okay? We are going to do what we need to do, make the connections that we need to make, talk to the people that we need to talk to, do the things that we need to do in a respectful and passionate way because it's what the people want. Okay, and you know, we're going to need your help. We can't do it alone. We're going to need your help, but we are going to make this happen this year. This is our time, and nothing. The elections nationally and statewide did nothing but make this very obvious, and I think everybody realizes this. All elected officials. So hang with us, bear with us, help us when we need you to help us, but we are going to get this legislation passed because it's what the people of Texas want. Thank you very much.
All right, Bob, why don't you come up, and then I'll let you introduce Don whenever you get through with your remarks. But my friend,
Wait. I turned it off.
No, I think it's on back there. I guarantee you, if it's not on, they're going to be you'll get a hidey from Heidi. That's not a microphone. That's the radio.
All right, we want to hear him.
We didn't elect him for his technical experience.
I just don't like standing behind that, hiding behind the podium. I like to stand outside. So I have to stand out here.
Can I say, I just want to say really quickly, if I have to, I hate doing this, I absolutely hate doing this, but if I scooch out in the middle of things, it's because I have to, we just got our keys, most of us got our keys to our offices just like the other day, and furniture is being moved in, and I haven't even been in there yet, and so we've got a caucus that we've got to get to later, and so I might scoot out to go to the Capitol, and so I can get to the caucus in time, but that's the only reason. It's not because I don't want to be here, so I just want to warn y'all about that.
I don't want to call you Jeff.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it. said it. You do, and you'll get a smack.
I know. This guy right here, hey, in the trenches.
This is the guy.
We were nose to nose down there in the mud and the guts. We left off the beer for a while, but it may be coming back. Okay? Bob Hall.
I just thank y'all for being here. I mean, I am just humbled, I am blessed, and still amazed that I'm standing here and about to do what we're going to do tomorrow. And I say we, because it's us. And the one thing that I would like to change in the way we refer to people, Ray talks about leaders, this is a servant's job. I'm not a leader. I am not the leader in this position. I am a servant to you. This is to do what you want done, what we want done in advancing the principles of liberty and freedom and the free enterprise and what our founding fathers intended. What we've been working so hard and talking to people about for 7+ years that's been going on. And so that's how I view this thing. And I'll be there for whatever time period that God decides for me to be there, because I never intended to do this. And as Joanne knows, I came to Joanne looking for someone to run against my opponent. I spent 2.5 years, 3 years, looking for someone to do it. And I'll tell you, the shortcoming that we got to overcome is I could not find anybody that would step up and do it. And that's the one thing we've got to change. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to say, oh, we don't like this, we don't like that. It's another thing to get out there and do something about it. Get into it. Whether it's more active in the Tea Party or helping a candidate, but more importantly, we need more good people running for office, because we only have the problems that come out of Austin or come out of Washington because of the people we put in there. That's where it comes from. And it starts with us, out here. I'm still here. I'm still us. And I always will be part of us out here. But we have got to do more to get people up there that will do the right thing without having 3,000 phone calls being made, who get out of bed in the morning thinking, liberty, freedom, free enterprise, what can I do today to move my country, my state, my county, my city, whatever it is, back to the right. Because we are gradually, and it's not just slow the movement to the left. You know, like they talk about cutting the budget, all they're doing is talking about slowing the rate of growth. They're not talking about cutting it. Well, we need to move it back to the right. And so we've got to tug. Now, we're not going to win all the battles all the time. But we're going to win the war, because we're going to keep coming back. And it's not getting knocked down. Believe me, I know about getting knocked down in this election. It's getting back up again. And getting back up fast and relentlessly. And remember that we are all in this together. So that when we move forward in this thing, don't let one little issue or two little issues, or issues, or whether you consider them big issues, drive a wedge between any group or people or friends or whatever. We're adults. Let's not work and campaign like high school kids. Let's do it like adults. Let's take a disagreement and say, okay, you've got yours, but I'm not going to call you a name. I'm not going to rate you. I'm just going to accept the fact that you don't understand. And I'm going to work real hard to educate you. And you do that positively. And we stay together and come out of this thing. Because if we get splintered, we get split, believe me, they're going to do it. And just accept the fact we're going to be outspent. But I tell you what, that's no big deal. Don was outspent. Connie was outspent. I was outspent. That's no big deal. Money doesn't vote. People vote. That's where it comes from, and that's what we've got to get involved. The sad part about winning with the vote is, I think our runoff election had 10% turnout. Was about all there was. That's sad. And it's sad when we get excited about getting 20% turnout or 23. Oh, we got 23. We got 22%. Folks, that's pathetic.
It's sad, but we won.
Yeah, no, that's true. But we're not winning them all.
No.
But if we would, because we have the people who sit home because they just don't want to get involved. But we've got to do that. And so I will agree with what Konni has to say here. We have got a great opportunity in this session. We got new people at the top. Look, just think of what we have. We've got Ken Paxton. We've got Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick, all of whom have supported the Tea Party or been an intimate part of it, are now in top positions in the state. We've got 8 new senators in the Texas Senate. Unprecedented. Hadn't happened before. And every one of them, 7 of the 8 replaced one that was significantly more liberal. I had to leave one out because we lost Ken Paxton out of that. So we've got 7 out of the 8 that are significantly more conservative than who they replaced. So the bright lights that have been pretty dim in the Senate are going to be on for what's going to be happening. There will be changes in the rules, and I say that with a very positive feeling that it's going to happen, that we will have some significant changes in the rules that will keep the Democrats from having control of the Senate the way they have in the past, and other rules that will bring better legislation to the floor and keep bad legislation off the floor. And we've got some challenges out there. Don is he's like a dynamo on liberty-oriented bills. He has been free-filing. He and Matt has been relentless. And I think he'll talk about 2 or 3 of those when he gets up here in a second. It'll knock your socks off with some of the things he's talking about doing when you get around to gun rights and elections. He's been Don. What I love about Don is he just doesn't want to take the first hill. He wants to take the whole mountain at one time. And so it's going to be interesting. And Konni is right there with him and the others. We've had meetings. We are talking to each other. We've had several meetings, several gatherings. It's not just a casual phone call of working together. And when you think about 8 out of 20, that's a fairly significant number. And 8 out of 31 is fairly significant. So Konni is right. We are on the road to be throwing conservative legislation over the transom to the House to the point that they can't juggle it all down the drain. And, but we're going to need your help. And we're going to need your help throughout the process, because the one thing I did here, and I'll get close to wrapping this up in a minute here, but is that the bad people, that's the people who vote against us one way or the other, they show up for the hearings down here. I've heard time and time again, we'll have a hearing on something, and our opposition will outnumber us 3, 4, 5, 10 to 1. And there will be people up there sitting on that dais really kind of trying to make up their mind. And they'll make up their mind and say, well, I heard, 10 people against it and 1 person for it. So that must be the way to vote. That does happen. So when we have something, you get a phone call, and you will be getting phone calls that we've got a bill that's coming up and it needs support, plan on coming down here. And don't tell me it's raining out or it's snowing, because I'm going to tell you what the guys did to climb in those boats and cross the Delaware on Christmas Eve with no boots on and no shoes and no coats and feet bleeding, and went over and turned the Revolutionary War around. So don't tell me it's inconvenient to come down here. Just climb in that car and come down here and get on your phone and email, because with no pain there's no gain in this thing. So, but look forward to a great time. And I just want to, there are so many people in this room, I can't thank all of them, I mean, there are people here that literally bled in in our campaign and these other campaigns. But I do want to recognize and thank. Where's Kay? She's back. Stand up. This is the campaigner in chief. That this could not have happened without her. She was my support, and she is Liz Liberty, Liz Freedom. Because when the going got tough, she got tougher than they were.
And who is she to you?
Huh?
Who is she to you?
That is my best friend and wife.
Okay.
And my harshest critic. And sometimes she's right. But anyway, thank you all so much. Hang in there with us. We've just begun. We have just begun this fight. It's just moving into a different phase for us up here. But we're all in this together. And thank you very much. And thank you, Ray Myers. You and Joanne and Doc and all the others that have been in here with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. I got to go. Heidi, I'm getting over here. I'm over here.
You're loud and clear.
All right. You know, we were blessed to go to the 2012 convention, Tampa Bay. We got in there and we were moving and shaking around, and here's Don Huffines over here. And we talking to him a little bit. Don, what are you guys doing? Don said, well, we're getting ready to run for the state senate, Don. Y'all are? Yeah. What do you think about that, Don? Well, I don't know. And what in the world would you think? Here he is now, a state senator. Huh? Don, come on over and let's hear some of this liberty talk that you got going.
Thank you, Ray. We had a good time in Tampa. Well, welcome, freedom fighters. Welcome, believers in liberty. I am just get a huge chuckle every time I get in front of a Tea Party group, because I know you guys have my back and have Connie's back and Bob's back, and it's just absolutely amazing. You know where your liberty comes from. It comes from God. You have inalienable rights, and God has given you that, and there's only one thing that's going to take that away, and that's a government. And I am here to make sure they do not take any of your liberty or freedoms away. I mean, let me give you a quick background on Senate. I'm in Senate District 16. You're looking at North Texas right here, guys. Each one of us represent about 5 to 6 households. I'm in Senate District 16, which is the north half of Dallas County. And of course, you know where Connie's over there in 10, and Bob's in 2, Fort Worth. So you're looking at DFW right here. And real quick, I've been active in the Republican Party all my life, and I have been a liberty fighter. I've been frustrated for decades with the Republican Party. But I knew there was a day was coming. A day would dawn that we would have believers in liberty and freedom that dominate our party, and I think that day is coming. I think it's arrived. And I am extremely excited to be part of it. I am humbled and excited. You know, I have 5 children and a perfect wife for 27 years who would be here, but one of my children is sick, so he can't be here. They went to the University of Texas. 3 of them at the University of Texas, 1 at TCU, and 1 still homeschooled. We homeschool all of our children. You know, we're going to get so much done this session, I can't even begin to start. And I can tell you, we have moved the needle so far to the right, where it should be, for freedom and liberty, that everyone else, all the rhinos now, are starting to look over their right shoulder, of course, and they are running scared. Yeah. They really are. We're going to flush them all out of the brush, I can tell you that. I like to hunt personally, so I decided to get in this race. I'm a big deer hunter and all that, and I decided to get in this race because I like trophy hunting. And that's really true. And I said, you know, my senator is a trophy rhino. So I'm going trophy hunting. And we were able to take him out, and it was a huge, very, very big accomplishment. But we've got great legislation pending. We really do, coming up. And we've got, we'll go over that, I guess, here in just a minute. But like Connie said, we've got a Republican caucus we've got to get to. And we can't miss that because we don't want anything going on there that we don't have input on. Right. But right now, it should be dropping real quick, a red light camera bill. Yeah. Make sure we outlaw all of those forever. That includes cameras on the school buses and all the scams that's going on with that. It's just always about the money and how much money they're going to make on us. Don't worry, we're going to do that. I really think that's going to pass too. I've got great term limit legislation pending. It's comprehensive. If you're elected office holder in the state of Texas, you will not retire that way. I can tell you that because I've got it for everybody. Dog catcher to the governor. I've got it for the Speaker of the House.
All right.
I've got it for agency heads of every agency, every department.
Oh, hallelujah.
Text not never mind. We got great gun legislation. I'm supposed to be quiet about that, but keep your cameras on and your radio on this week. We got some stuff that's going to be happening on the Second Amendment. I can tell you we're going to open it up for everybody. You're going to have your right. You're going to keep your right, that Second Amendment right, and we're going to expand on that. We've got a lot of stuff working, but I really appreciate everybody coming. I really, really do, because you guys, you're the first and one of the only groups that comes to Austin that has one goal in mind, and that's to get better government. You're here because you're a patriot. You know what all the other groups come here for?
Stuff.
They're all coming here because they want some of our $102 billion that we spend a year. That's how much we spend a year. We're going to spend $110 billion a year going forward. And they're all coming down here with sticky fingers to get their fingers in it, except groups like you, because you guys are patriots, and I am humbled. I'm really humbled, and I'm so proud of you guys, and thank you for having our back.
Thank you, Don. Guys, think about this. Think about the bottom of the barrel liberals. The top two liberals in the state of Texas and Wendy Davis. Don took out Corona. Bob took out Dual. They were the top two bottom. And then we got Wendy Davis gone and Connie. Normally we take our steps in inches. That's a Red Rover right there. You betcha. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it. I want a little bit of time for them to get up and shake your hand and talk to you just for a second before they leave. But let me go through a quick schedule for you about what's going to go on in this room for the remainder of the day. I think that we need to know at 10 o'clock, 10:15, we're going to have Michael Quinn Sullivan come in, which is just a few minutes. He's going to be talking to us about what's going on in the back of his mind. And I hope he brings up a guy by the name of Wallace Hall. You know, y'all ever heard about him? He might be talking about that. That's at 10 o'clock. Then at 11 o'clock or so, we're going to be recognizing some people around here in this room and so forth. Joanne and I are going to be doing that. And then 1 o'clock we will break in there for lunch. 1 o'clock we'll come back with Joanne Fleming is going to be talking about the 84th legislature and the House. About those, what do you call those people in the House? Children? Was it children?
No.
You didn't say that?
They're mature and we're not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. I certainly wouldn't want to get that going. Okay. Then at about 2:15, 2 o'clock, 2:30, somewhere in that neighborhood, we're going to have Jonathan Stickland is going to bring over the conservative team. Our state reps, our conservative team is going to be coming over here. And then they're going to be setting up the table for a guy by the name of Scott Turner who will be in here right shortly at that time too. So we've got a full day here, guys. Come in here, listen to it. It's going to be good. Then we want to get you fired up and send you out, send you to that building over there, that pink building that I say that what's the guy's name? Not Corona anymore. What was it? Soprano. No, not Soprano. But we want to go over there and shake them up. Okay? Send you over there and get them going. All right, that is going to be the day. Now I'd like for you to, if you'd like to talk to Bob or Don, just come on up, talk, and then we'll move in. When Michael Sullivan gets here, we'll move to that program. Okay? Thank you very much.
Good job.